your mental health matters. Thursday with your Hansei Ayodike, behavioral change consultant. And today we are touching on Kintsugi. Apparently it's Japanese. When I saw the word, I said, well, your Hansei trying to do me this hour in the morning, boy. Kintsugi, boy? But I watched my notes last night, your Hansei, but where we going with this? Your Hansei, look forward. Good morning, my friend.
Morning, Jason, and morning to everybody viewing. All right, so Kintsugi is a Japanese word. It literally means kin meaning golden, and sugi means to put together. Now, the story behind it is there was a king, he had a real nice piece of pottery, a bowl, and it fall and break, and he sent it to be repaired. And when it came back with ugly staples on it, and he was so distraught. Now, his subjects saw how distraught he was, and there's like, right, they decided to put it back together, but they used gold dust, glue with gold dust in it, right? So even after it was repaired, it was even more beautiful than it was before.
Okay. So it come like the mistake now, the error, and becoming art, it ended up becoming something that is now even more grand than the original product.
Yes.
Because it was initially, as I say, it mashed up. You had to put it together.
Yes. They put it together with glue, with gold dust in it. Now, I bring in that point because each one of us, there are many times that we break apart, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And sometimes we look at ourselves as worthless or even worth even less than before. But the truth is that there's beauty sometimes in putting yourself back together, right? There's beauty and even strength in going through hardship and experiences. So the product that comes out after with us is even better than before.
Beautiful comparison. I'm thinking of, even on my personal journey, different hard moments, tough moments. Yeah, it's those moments that really build character, that make you who you are, defines the person that you're coming to your own. And of course, you're still developing. We all will be a work in progress. But what about the person, you answer, who plays it safe? They never bat out to the crease. They will always just wait for a wide to swing. They're not taking a chance at all, and probably they go through life without ever having their bowl shattered. Could that even happen?
I don't think is possible, because even when playing it safe, you're trying to control things that you can't control. Things are out of your control, which is maybe people's reaction in certain situations. You can't control it. It's like saying, I don't want to ever get in an accident, so I will continue driving safe. But it's always a little something that will occur. And that's part of life, because playing it safe, one, is boring. And trying to be perfect is also boring. Is the uniqueness, is the I would even want to call it struggles, is the lessons that we learn through life that make us who we are. And then even when we meet others, those things that we experience, we could impart to them, and they could impart to us.
Well said. So when the bowl is shattered, for those who, they're coming out, they're swinging, bat swinging, from secondary school to college to work life, they're just taking chances, they're swinging, they might hit some, you might miss some, and you find yourself with the bowl being broken. Could one fix that? Now, I know it's important, people like yourself, that's what you're here for, to help people get their bowl back together, and all the different professionals in your field, you all play a pivotal role, but could someone try to fix that bowl on their own? People, they try.
Yes, one, firstly, even admit your bowl broken. Because sometimes when things happen, you don't even want to see the cracks and the breaks, but it is real. Because if we pretend it don't exist, then we will move like if the bowl is still intact. And then when we reach certain situations, we will crumble because we didn't acknowledge the cracks in us. So acknowledging it first is the first step. So when you acknowledge it, then you know how much of the glue you want to put. If you want to put gold, like the example we have, or silver or platinum or however. Now I'm using the analogy because once you understand where you are, right, and acknowledging the truth is important. So then you could be able to now apply whatever is the appropriate golden glue.
Yeah. And that is all in the process of building yourself back up. What about folks who keep on making the same error over and over? It's just for some reason, sometimes it could be in the realm of business, it could be relationships, it could be, work decisions, just that interaction sometimes with staff. probably you're a manager and you can't hold on to your staff is something that people just not stay in. How does one even attempt putting that bowl together and again putting all the nice gold dust and the platinum and to make the product a beautiful product, to help self and to build self so that people won't keep on moving on and leaving?
One, acknowledge that sometimes people may not accept you for exactly who you are. You will want people to, but they may not. So come into that realization that not everyone will gel with you. And then also, two, looking at the truth, we're going back to the truth of yourself, because sometimes you're looking at a situation and some part of it you're just missing. And so analyze it. Analyze to see, okay, well, I was speaking to somebody nice and they're still reacting this way. Maybe I could change what I'm doing. Maybe I could, and refine, because even in this process, this is not a one and done, you know. They pick up the pieces and just do it. They have to refine it. And even if that gold does the using. We know gold is our metal that is refined and refined. So even though sometimes it may seem like you're doing the same mistake, it may not be the same mistake, it may look the same way, but if you acknowledge the truth of it and refine, then you will find the result that you want.
I have an interesting one here for you, Johansi, and I'm sure you would have encountered this many times within your profession. How difficult is it to bring that bowl back together when that bowl was broken at an early age, when something happened traumatic in your childhood, and you probably would have suppressed it? You tried to obviously, go through the normal motions, and now you're an adult, and you just, things are a bit left and right, as it were. And when you really go back to the source, you recognize the bowl was broken early in life.
Right.
Is that bowl able to get that amendment, that adjustment, and you could get that gold dust to fix that bowl now as an adult, even though it was broken years ago?
Yes, it is possible. Sometimes it may take a little more time because as children, we may not have had the language or the awareness that we have as an adult. But even with that, in terms of one going through a therapeutic process with professionals like myself, or even sitting, going back with the truth again, sometimes sitting and writing. When you feel something, you just start to write, and sometimes things just come out of you and come out, and you realize, wait, no, there's a piece that I didn't see, so let me bring it in. There's a piece I didn't see, let me bring it in. And many of us, because none of us, I think, had a perfect childhood. So I think all of us are pulling some pieces together, including myself, including everyone. We pulling these little pieces back together, but there's beauty in it.
Yeah, it's such an interesting analysis again. And if you can put the bowls up, because when you look at what you're bringing to us this morning, even with the visuals,
right.
It's true. If you didn't tell me this was probably a broken piece, I would think this is art, but clearly this is the Japanese style, right? This is out of Japan?
Cool. Perfect, yes.
So literally they will break the bowl and then mend it back with the gold?
Well, it's not necessarily purposefully breaking it, it's people who have precious bowls that were broken, and instead of discarding it, right, they send it, and this method is what brings it back together.
The Japanese really are resilient people, a resilient nation, a place that we can learn so much from their philosophy, that whole mindset.
True.
Of those in the Far East.
And not even only Japanese. Listen, here in Trinidad, we always pulling together something, We have this skill to pull together a lot of things, and sometimes even in adversity, we as Trinidadians, we don't take defeat. We could make something out of nothing. So yes, there's a Japanese style, but we here have the talent also.
I think we use a lot of humor to heal. We tend to use the whole mama guy culture. We will laugh it off. Inside we're hurting, but we'll find ways to use that truth to crack a joke off of it, whether we crack it on ourselves or on the powers that be. That seems to kind of work for us, because I do think when you really peel back to the underbelly and you peel back the layers of a Trinbagonian, I don't think we really are bitter and hostile people, I think at the core, we are fun-loving and people that love to laugh and love to entertain, but at the same time, when things are supposed to be a little bit, when we're supposed to be serious about certain issues, we tend to sometimes laugh, and I don't know. Probably that's how we keep our bowl intact, because when you look at Trinidad being so multicultural, so plural, the fact that we have not engaged in any kind of civil war, sometimes it's war words, and you see the politicians with their kind of rhetoric taking it to a particular level that is unacceptable. But we on the ground, the people, we able to move and mix, and it's a real melting pot, you know.
That's very true, and I'm glad you highlighted that, because knowledge is power. So the more we have these conversations and are aware of it, we could refine, just like the goal, refine our process, because when something happens, having a lime, being light about it is a good way as a salve. But of course, we have to get to the meat of the issue. We have to get to the seriousness. So maybe in the past, if we didn't quite get to that, having this conversation now, we could refine our process. So now we could have that perfect Trini Kintsugi method.
Yeah, I'll give you the chance to put any closing remarks you want. It's a very interesting one again. And give me the pronunciation one more time.
Kintsugi.
I think you could Google it yourself, Kintsugi. Put up the spelling as we get the closing remarks from you, Ansi.
Nation, we are not perfect. All of us have small cracks in us, but don't let that ruin your life, and don't make life complicated. Because even though life is not easy, it's really not that hard. Thank you for listening.
You want to say IODK, behavioral change consultant for our mental health matters. Thursday, another impactful and informative conversation. We'll come back, get into our Mother's Day promotion, and I'm seeing here our Omega XL health tip. All that to come before we transition to the morning shot at 7:30.